All right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. And right here, right now, we are joined by Florida's finest. That's right, we got the Gateway Band right here, live on the radio station airwaves. We got Glazed right here, and they are the gateway to all the finest punk rock, man. So, guys, how are you doing tonight all the way out there in Jacksonville?
Doing awesome.
Doing well. The gate's open.
Hey.
Just letting the floodgates open, letting all the punk rockers all the way through, man. So I gotta say, but I gotta say, I know we were talking before we went live on the interview, so I hope you guys are actually staying warm out there in Florida. I know down here in Canada, we're trying, man. But I can't even talk about heat with you guys when you're out there in Florida, man, because it just doesn't make sense, man. You guys deal with that 24/7. We Canadians, we only have a chance to bitch about it for 4 months out of a year.
We were born in the swamp.
Yeah. With no clothes on.
Yeah. So we just are impervious to heat, I guess.
Yeah.
Humidity is hard to still. Huh?
You can't walk anywhere without 1,000 little beads just collecting right here.
Bullets.
Bullets, yeah.
But I know you guys are busy individuals, so of course I'm not going to take you away from your Saturday night too long, but I got to take you back, man, to the beginning of this amazing band. And I have to ask, what is the story behind Glazed? And of course, how did you guys actually come together to form this killer punk rock band?
So Liam and I, we've known each other since we were teenagers. We've been in like punk bands in our scene here in Jacksonville, just playing like living rooms and storage units and warehouses and wherever we could find shows. And one day, like, our friends wanted to start an emo band, and then so they recruited me to play guitar. They recruited Liam to play drums, and I met Liam. Liam was like 16 years old, and I was probably like 18 years old. So we just met as kids, and started listening to like Weatherbox and Saves the Day and a bunch of emo bands around the same time, and like really spend our time with each other to like I don't know, agree on music, write music, play shows, and we've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, seriously. It feels like the first few years we were just doing it. It felt so good to do it, and then maybe it took like 10 years for there to be purpose behind the decisions we were making as we were doing it. But as you said, it's been since like teenagers.
Yeah, we grew up together.
Yeah, we grew up.
We've been through shit. We've like, I'm sorry, can I curse?
Oh, we're completely uncensored. Definitely swear away, man.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, sorry for cursing, Mom. Liam and I, we grew up together, and we're still growing up together. We just do music for fun. Like, some people like to collect magic cards, or people like to go remote control drive cars in the park, golf, collect trains. Like, our hobby is and passion is just a bit more in a different direction, especially with punk rock.
Yeah.
Hey man, don't get me wrong. You know, RC cars and magic cards are cool and all, but I think just, you know, making punk rock music is probably just the coolest hobby anybody could have. So, magic players, please do not lynch me, but I'm sorry, I gotta weigh the options here, man. Like, making punk rock music is just 10 times better.
Awesome.
Hey, you could do both.
Yes. Definitely.
It's just like, are you willing to die? Which one are you willing to die?
Yeah, exactly.
But also as well, guys, March 17th of 2017, you guys actually released a killer 10-track album titled You Changed. I was wondering, can you tell us the story behind this amazing album? And of course, is it actually still available to be streamed or purchased today in 2024?
Yes, it's available on all streaming platforms. And on our Bandcamp, I think you can buy vinyl still. You've Changed. But I guess the writing for it, Justin's going to kind of tap in to give some more perspective. But the beginning of that record, we had some friends when we were all in college to kind of have some of our friends to really have their own house on their own. There was maybe 6 dudes living in like a 3 or 4 bedroom house. And they called it the Scrote Boat. And we would just go there at after school, in between classes. That was like the place where we got to practice, because it's hard to find a place where you can make a bunch of noise. And we were just jamming there, and we eventually ended up recording it at this place in Valdosta. Shout out to Lee Dias. Lee Dias, yes. Recorded it in Valdosta. And we did it in what, like, how many days did we record it in?
Maybe 8 days.
Drums took like 2 days, and then yeah, we did everything else after.
Yeah, we were really young when we wrote that. We were listening to a lot of music of the time, or whenever it was released. You said 2016 or 2015?
2017, I think, when it was released. But I'm assuming you guys those years was probably when you guys wrote it.
Yeah. We recorded with Lee, like Liam said. We wrote it at the Scropo. It was like it felt like an incubator of our minds at the time, and there was always a drum kit in the corner. But we're people who grew up playing in bands and driving our parents. Like, our parents would drop us off at the shows we'd play in Jacksonville. Like he said, like, having that independence of being able to just have a place with a revolving door where we could be intentional with our creative thoughts was super important with that album. Like, it's kind of hard for me to listen to like these days, but it's where all of our minds were like still coming of age, and it was. I mean, being on vinyl was pretty cool. That was awesome. It's gonna turn 10 years old, I think, actually next year or in a couple years. Mm-hmm. So people want us to like play it, but it's like, honestly, like everything's fleeting. I'm glad it's like a bookmark though for us. And Lee in Valdosta recorded a ton of like great artists. So we felt like kids in the candy store with like an unlimited budget.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, the label at the time was basically like, yo, choose whoever you want to record this album with and I'll fund it. And it's going on vinyl. So we're like 20 and 19 and 18 years old, and we're like, oh my gosh. All right, yeah, let's go to like, this guy who recorded From First to Last and Mayday Parade and like Laura Jane Grace and Anti-Flag and
epic bands.
Yeah, like it was a great experience. Dude, I like don't think we knew anything going in there. No. Like
just any kind of studio experience and stuff like that. I feel like it was kind of like a testament to what we've experienced as a band, just kind of learning as we just participate more and more. And like that, going into the studio at such a young age, it was very humbling, that's for sure. And like it kind of, it put it in perspective. It's like, okay, what kind of work do we want to put in to be prepared for the studio after this too? And right. It was an awesome experience. Being able to be in an actual studio, I feel like we got to learn and get exposed to so much of how like a record is made.
Seriously.
And it was awesome, especially for the time that it was and the age that we were too.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll always remember those days fondly.
And also as well, like you said, being able to actually work with whoever you want. The label's gonna fund whoever, and they put it on vinyl. I mean, how could anybody say no to that? I mean, realistically, that sounds like probably the sweetest deal I have ever heard an artist actually say on this radio station that a record label has gave them. I mean, literally that's amazing.
Hey, I would hope that that's the minimum for artists to agree to do business with somebody who's a non-musician, just so nothing gets like compromised. It's what the artists like deserve, and we're grateful for that experience for sure.
Definitely. And it made us really, I think, pinpoint the important areas where release and publication and PR, what kind of investment has to go in that for a release to be successful too. But it was like, we're very proud of what we were able to accomplish in that studio, especially, I don't know. I mean, 10 songs for like 19, 20-year-olds is like, dang.
Yeah.
I was intimidated. I was nervous, but
it was crazy too, because like I feel like
it was cool.
Us and our label, like it was hard because the label wasn't in the studio, and so we couldn't necessarily get tracks transferred to us every night to like sit on and study. So we would like be like, oh, can you play the song again, and record it on our phone so we could listen to it on the car, like, because we would commute from Tallahassee to Valdosta every day to do it. Some in Jacksonville to Valdosta, so it's like 2.5 to 3 hour drives like each way every single day. And I think like now that it's getting older, like we've written so much more better stuff since then, but we're at the point now where I think Liam said that someone put Someone sold
Oh,
a copy of You've Changed at our local record store.
Yes, we just found it at our local record store. They're selling for like $5. We're like, all right.
Well, before we move on to the topic of that album, I just gotta say quickly, man, that Shakespeare is actually my favorite joint off that album, man. If I had to choose 1 out of the 10, Shakespeare is definitely my go-to.
I'm stoked. That's actually the first song that we wrote as Glazed.
That I did not know, man. But it's still pretty cool, man, just knowing that, like, you listen to that album and the one song you like is actually the very first song you guys ever written, man. But you wouldn't even know the difference, man. Because in my opinion, You've Changed is actually one of those albums, man, that, like, is a non-skippable album, man. You put it on, you just gotta listen all the way through, man, because you don't know what you're gonna miss.
Thank you very much. It's we love to like Easter egg our music with just references and like nuances and things that like make it like a scavenger hunt. Like that, people say we're a band's band because maybe we go a little bit too hard. But I'm flattered that you think that. He said it's a non-skippable album.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
It is,
like,
man.
That's good feedback. Yeah. And like,
thank you so much, dude.
Shakespeare. It was really inspired by like the Get Up Kids. I think like that was like our main. I don't know what you think.
Get Up Kids. Yeah. I can't even. It's so. Oh, Shakespeare. Well, the cool thing about Shakespeare is like, so Glazed kind of turned into like, it started off as an emo band called Locals. That was me, Justin, and it was when I was like 16. Justin's a couple years older than me. And then we came out with a 3-song EP. And then we kind of wrote more songs. And that's when Brian and our other friend Reed, that's when they kind of came in and joined what eventually turned into Glazed. But if you go on Bandcamp, there's like a very early version of Shakespeare from like, we recorded an EP in the Scroat Boat.
Yeah.
And it's, I just remember them like coming out of like under the stairwell. It was a crazy time. Like there'd be just random people asleep in random places.
That song was recorded like 3 times. You've Changed has the 3rd version of Shakespeare.
Yeah, but you can go back if you want to see the the like journey of how the songs develop. But I remember Shakespeare specifically actually. When Lee Dias were in the studio, there's one part where it's like bang 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 canteen, and we had been playing it a certain way, and we didn't realize that it was so off count on one of the parts that we were coming in until we went into Lee Dias, and he's like, fellas, I think we're gonna have to like push this a little up. And then we're like, that's exactly we just couldn't. It was so funny.
Another life lesson.
Yeah, from Lee Dias. Yeah,
that's so funny. Yeah.
But also as well, guys, October 30th of 2020, you actually released a single titled Disleveled, featuring Max Beams. I was wondering if you can tell us a bit more about that song, and of course, what was it like actually working alongside Max in the studio for this particular release? Because I do know this was around COVID, so I don't know if you guys were really in the studio, but at the end of the day, you guys did do a phenomenal collaboration together.
Thank you. So Disheveled is a song that was on an EP we put out in 2020. Came out like on Leap Day of 2020 called 1999 through Acrobat Unstable Records.
Josh Cobb.
We recorded it with a guy named Josh Cobb. Mm-hmm. And hey, same label, same deal. Yeah. We have money. We'll put it out. Like, do your thing. So there's a guy named Josh Cobb. He's our friend. He's in a band called My Getaway. Yeah. We recorded Jawberry.
Awesome band.
Jawberry. And at the same time, we were kind of thinking about like, what can we do to reach an audience that might like this kind of music? Which, the safe bet is to like maybe hire a publicist and do a PR campaign. But like, we were like, dude, we should get a guest feature like on a song. And then someone was just lurking on Max Bemis, and he was managing a Kickstarter to build a new studio, and one of the tiers of his packages was, I'll do a guest feature on your song, him or his wife Sherry. I think it was like $500. So we just took a screenshot of it, sent it to our label at the time, and we were like, hey, we think this would be worth it, like, to just invest in this, to get it in front of maybe like people who would appreciate it, like I told you. Um, so we did it. They took our money, and we were not given a deadline. So Disheveled came out, and then like a year later, it came out again with the guest feature from Max Bemis.
Yeah, and we actually like we had artwork and everything that was hand drawn. It's beautiful, and it was like you said, October. I think we were planning on like a Halloween release.
Yeah.
So we kind of like we're trying to rip off the
Through Being Cool
on the couch kind of thing, and we all had our Halloween outfits on, and it was probably the quickest Spotify response I've ever seen. But he had like Mickey Mouse ears as part of his outfit. Yeah. No lie, within 5 minutes of posting the artwork to Spotify, they're like copyright infringement. So we had to like crop out all of us and just turn it blank.
Yeah.
And like it's on a blank couch for the release, but it's cool. We're like, to be on a song with Max Bemis is awesome. And he complimented us. We were like, all right, this is
cool. You know what he said? He said, I saved the best ones for last. Yeah. And I was like, all right. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know what the deal is. We were trying to get that feature for a long time. And respect and love to Max. Like, if he's ever watching this, like, thank you. Like, you wrote something great. I harmonized on it.
Awesome.
Our friend Reed, who was on the track, he's the biggest Say Anything fan. He was like, dude, let me just scream on it to be a layer with his voice.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude, let's like take a real stab at this like opportunity that we have. And, you know, working with him, dude, we didn't work with him. It was email, but we did send him like 4 paragraphs of like, yo, I think it would be cool if you kind of had the style of your voice on your self-title album with the lyrics from like In Defense of the Genre, with the moodiness from Is It Real? Like, we were really trying to like push him in a creative direction, which I don't know if he used that, but dude, it randomly came in our email inbox one day, the feature, and it was crazy. Like,
it was crazy,
dude. No deadline. We waited for like a year and a half maybe, and it just came.
It was a good feature. It was good, and
15 words.
Yeah, we were kind of referencing Weatherbox before, but now like full circle. I'm pretty sure Brian Warren, the guy from Weatherbox, is playing the same thing now, and it's cool to see a epic collaboration of people that were like fanboys of, and the fact that we're that close to Brian Warren from Weatherbox.
Yeah, seriously. I wish it was a better story.
Yeah,
DJ Immortal. It is not.
I gotta say, that's still a great story, man. The fact that you actually did not put, like, when you purchased that like feature and you were like, you know, never gave him a deadline, but he still followed through. But I have to ask, because waiting a year is a long time. Like, did you guys happen to forget that you guys reached out? Because obviously you guys are busy, music, shows, like family life, friends and whatnot. Did you guys ever forget, in a sense, that you actually reached out to him and he finally sent it? Or were you guys like, oh man, like, we paid them, we're probably never going to get it? Like, what were your thoughts before, and then of course like after, when you saw that email pop?
I don't think we were stressing too hard. I think we just had to figure out when we got it, we're like, okay, how do we want to release it? Because we had already come out with Disheveled, so it's like we knew that it was just kind of like, when it comes out, and it's like it's going to give some energy back into the record. But I felt like it was like, I think we checked in after a year, and it was like, okay, yeah. And then we're like, boom, once we got it, we were just, dude, we were so stoked. I mean, to have Max Bemis on a song with us is like, I don't know. That's like, that's a level of a feature that's supposed to be on a song with Glazed. It's like, come on. We're definitely grateful.
Yeah, I think because like it wasn't our wallet that hurt. Like, we kind of accepted defeat of like, yeah, you know, it might come in like a decade, it might come tomorrow, but like, we got to move forward regardless. So we didn't let it hold us back from releasing the EP 1999 that Disheveled originally came out on. Mm-hmm. And actually during his feature part is during a pretty like interesting bridge of the song that's very like headbangy and like, so he just elevated the song, I think, at the end of the day. And we were able to, hopefully maybe reach you through that. I don't know. Is that
how'd you find out about
we're
us?
Curious how you found us.
Honestly, I found you because I will admit, I always have my ears to social media. I would say to the streets, but it's not the 90s anymore. Sorry, majority of the time, people's ears are to social media. I will admit, I've been listening to you guys for a while. Love what you guys have been doing. The 2017 album is where I actually discovered you guys.
That's
Like I was saying,
awesome.
Shakespeare's
That's awesome.
Shakespeare's my favorite song, man. Like I was saying, it's a
If you
non-skippable
play Canada,
album, but if I
we'll
had
play
to,
Yeah, dude, we'll play it for you.
Yeah,
For
seriously.
sure.
because like I said, the whole album's amazing, guys. But like if I had a gun to my head and they're like, you have to choose one, or you get shot, I'd be like Shakespeare. Like I have to choose one. It's gonna be Shakespeare, bro. You know what I mean? But that's how I.
It's
But there's
like, it's a hard on the sleeve type of song, but like it's a scrappy little song from Jacksonville, Florida.
Hey, it shows our love for Robert Williams too.
Yeah, it does. Seriously,
Dead poet said it best.
Dead Poet said it best.
Yeah.
But also as well, guys, you guys are currently signed to Negative Progression Records. I was wondering, how did you guys actually get discovered by them? And of course, what is it like working alongside that legendary label, man? Because they've been doing amazing things for the punk rock community, man, since I believe 1996 is when they actually launched.
Shout out to Seth.
Yeah, thank you, Seth.
Yeah, shout out to Seth. I guess Seth had been, because Seth is based out of, he lives in Orlando. I feel like Negative Progression might have moved around a bit. I'm not sure where they've been.
Yeah,
the whole time.
I think they were originally from Boston and then
Yeah.
moved to Florida.
So in Florida, we, as being natives to Jacksonville and everything, and just playing for the last like 15 years, we've always, Orlando and some other places have always been considered like a second home. I feel like, did he find us there or Fest in Gainesville?
I think he discovered us at Uncle Lou's in
Uncle Lou's,
Orlando.
okay, yeah.
Like we played a show there with the band Intervention. Rest in peace.
What are the
Overthinker, Intervention, and oh god,
There's another. Oh, real. Really?
Feel Real.
Feel real.
No.
Real,
The Real You.
The real you.
The Real You.
Pretty good bands.
We-
Check
hey.
them out. And they're still active. They're doing good. Overthinker and the real you.
So, Uncle Lou's DJ Moral is a spot where 40 people are in the room. Like it's going to be like sold out. It's going to be sweaty as hell. The floor is going to be like slippery. Like it's just
You'll get
like-
yelled at for no reason by the bartender,
Yeah,
but then they'll like hug you.
yeah. There's a cat walking around. It's like a dive on like Mills Avenue in Orlando. And so
They even got the cat, man. I love it.
yeah, exactly.
Well, and I'm pretty sure like people from Orlando have pointed 3 different dudes out and told me that, oh, that's Lou.
yeah.
I'm like, who's Lou?
Yeah, lose everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but so we played a show there, and like honestly, the show he was at, it kind of blew my mind too, because like people were singing the Work Store songs, and I think it was on like a Wednesday night. We were on tour, like I think in the summer of 2022, and then yeah, he was just there, and I think he was kind of like I don't know, he thinks that we're good, so like he just came up to us and honestly like probably bought a shirt and like gave us some love, and I'd say for the next year kind of started courting us. Like he's driven to our shows like in Jacksonville. He's really like shown to us that he was ready to invest in us. And I'll be honest, I had never heard of Negative Progression Records until I met him. I don't think any of us did.
No, but we knew the bands that were on it after researching. We're like, whoa, okay, this guy's like got a cool resume. You know what I mean?
So he put out in 2004 this album called Merit by The Progress. If you know that band, I think they're from Connecticut or New Jersey. Dude, to me, that's like a Bible album. Like I know every song
Awesome
off
record.
that album.
Epic.
I'm a big Into It Over It fan, so like that's kind of like Into It Over It lore came from The Progress. In fact, the band that we just put the split out with, Sleep In, their guitarist was in The Progress. So it's just a band that we've been a fan of, and Seth put them out, and yeah, so it kind of made sense. Like, okay, you've put something out that like we really respect, and like you're showing us that you want to work with us, and ultimately we ended up signing to do a split record with Sleep In with them after like a year of figuring out how to make it work. And Seth did it, and so thank you, and shout out to Negative Progression.
Seriously, hopefully vinyl coming. I think vinyl's coming soon. Then, but like there were so many with this release specifically. Like Seth showed interest, and then we're like, okay, what do we want to do? And we were like we knew we wanted to come out with a split because we had a couple songs, and we wanted to like really kind of reconnect to the roots of like really just offering someone like offering the audience something on the recording for exactly what it is. Like we like as raw as possible. Like these were the first songs that we did without a metronome. I think we're most confident. Like I think it takes so much time and sound, like your sound evolves as you play more. But I think right now we really like how our tones and like the sounds that we're getting from the instruments too. And I don't know if this, like, I think we would have released something on Negative Progression, but we got to shout out our boy Scott Carr for really building this bridge between us and Sleep In. Even though the guy was in the Progress, I feel like Scott connected us like really well with those guys, put in a good word, built that bridge. It was solidified. And then Scott also helped connect us to the artist that got to do the artwork, which is like epic. And he's a dude, Josh, I don't want to butcher his last name. Josh McKell.
Yeah. Dude,
he's like a major character on Walking Dead. It's like, what? Yeah. Dude, it's awesome. And he plays in, I mean, come on. He played in Look Mexico. That's the bigger news. He's the drummer from Look Mexico, which is like awesome. But he got to do the artwork. There was just, it was a really good, nice collaborative effort to make something that we're really proud of. And like, it let us really get to connect with a scene that we hadn't tapped into before, which was like Philadelphia and Sleep In. Yeah. And man, the release show was a roller coaster, but it was one of the like better shows that we had on tour this last tour too. We played at Philomoka to promote it with Sleep In, and it was
awesome.
Yeah, it was a crazy night, but it was a really solid show.
Yeah, I feel like Negative Progression up north is probably like more sewn into the fabric of the punk scene culture or emo scene culture, maybe.
Are there any releases that stand out with Negative Progression that got you hooked on them?
Honestly, man, there's so many, way too many to freaking name. But I will say, Lickety Split was definitely one that I really enjoyed. Like kind of like you guys, man. Negative Progression, I know, like kind of like you guys. I don't want to admit this, man, because I'm the punk rock interviewer. But I will say I didn't know very much about Negative Progression until I actually did the research for this interview, and then I looked at the Discogs resume, and I was like, how the fuck did I not know this? Like, how did I not know these albums came out on this label? So it's like, but I will admit, like, before I got into the business, man, I just listened to the music. I did pay attention to what labels, but 9 times out of 10, man, I just enjoyed the music.
I'm the same way. Like, dude, these people will, certain people, if I like, I'll love a band, but then the wrong person will come up at the wrong time and be like, name 5 songs, be like,
yeah.
I'm like, no, it doesn't mean I don't love it. I'm just like, I'm not good off the top of my head.
Right. Yeah. Negative Progression is we're stoked to have worked with them because like I feel like to please us, you gotta like let us have our toys.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, split with the band that was with the guy from the Progress, Sleep In. Yeah. And also like vinyl and and cool album artwork that we hire a guy who hasn't done artwork in like 10 years and is a badass. Like,
well, he's and he's a great drummer and songwriter too.
Yeah, it seems like every part of it was intentional.
And when you actually said a few moments ago about how like name 5 songs type thing, I will admit there is people like that because 90%, I would say probably now like 95% of my wardrobe is all band T-shirts. So I'm currently in college, man. Yeah, like not like literally 90%. The rest are like just like plain like Fruit of the Loom like blank shirts. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, I'm in college, so a lot of the times like, these younger kids, because I'm 30, so me being in college now is kind of weird, but education is education. So long story short, I had one guy walk up to me. I would say maybe he's like 20. He's like, oh, Blink-182. Do you even like that band? And I was like, no, dude, I'm just wearing their shirt for no reason. And he's like, name 10 songs. I'm like, how about I name 20? And I just went, brrr. And he's like, okay, I get it. And then I'm walking behind him through the halls, and I'm naming more songs. I'm like, Carousel, M&M's, you know what I mean? I'm like, you want me to name Dude Ranch now? And he's like, okay, shut the fuck up.
Dude, right? You moon him. It's got the tattoo of Blink-182. It's like, I know Blink-182.
Yeah. That's the mic drop.
I know this guy.
Hey, man, I don't know if it will show it, but damn green screen. But I got a Blink tattoo, like, right here, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Didn't you, like, interview them?
I did not, though. I interviewed the engineer that worked on Edging and their new album. That's the closest I got. I will admit, I have emailed everyone I possibly could to get Tom DeLonge on, but I will admit, I'm way down here. Tom DeLonge is way up there. So I mean, I gotta.
Email head should be I found an alien, and then yeah, you want to do an interview? Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny. Like, we have an experience with a Blink-182 shirt too. The guy who ran the first label we signed with, I met him because he had a Blink shirt on, and I like complimented it. And ever since then, we just started talking, and it led to him funding the album.
Yeah, and I think like it's funny to say that like we're signed to labels.
Yeah,
I think like the thing, our whole idea of a band is that we're like just how you said, like we're a working class band.
Yeah.
So we're all like working full time. We're like dedicating pretty much after hours of work just to like do this, to produce something that like we love to do and do it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like when we're trying to find someone to do a release, it's like, you know, we're trying to find someone that believes in us, but also like we want somebody that we're trying not to come out of pocket as much as possible.
We're trying to provide the labor of art.
Yeah. Like, because, you know, we're like, you know, we've invested gas money, we've invested all this stuff, and we just the idea is like, okay, how could we be able to produce this thing without, you know, without it affecting us in other ways as much as possible? Because, you know, it's only us. You know what I mean? Like, it's only us in our jobs that are making this thing work, and like we're just blessed to be able to find people that are interested enough to put out like single like releases of ours.
Seriously.
That's for sure.
Yeah, we're just
yeah
DIY. Like we're working jobs, and we just toured, and we like used like vacation time to go tour, and yeah, we're still here, baby. We're in Canada now.
And speaking of touring as well, I do know that just because the summer is ending next month doesn't mean that when it starts going into transitioning into fall that the heat is going to stop from Glazed, because you guys are glazing right into October 25th, where you're going to be taking the stage in Gainesville, Florida for the 22nd edition of Fest. I was wondering, how did you guys actually end up on the bill? And of course, where can we buy tickets? And what can the Glazed fans expect from this up-and-coming performance? Because I looked at the bill, and I will say, sitting here in Canada, I absolutely hate the fact that you guys get all the good shit. We're here in Canada with our arms crossed. Like, really?
You guys get Pizza Fest, though.
That is true. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
So our Fest story is that like when Liam and I started playing music with each other, our friends showed us what Fest is. Which was, it's more than just a music festival. It's like this ceremony of like just punk rock, hardcore, alternative general music and like culture and art that is, it consists of people, I think, who really did their time and are doing their time. You know, so like you'll have everyone from like that band The Real You from Gainesville, who's like a local band, to like the Descendants or Ted Leo and the Pharmacists, or like Matt and Kim this year is playing, or Hot Water Music, you know. And also Gainesville's kind of magical, you know, because that's where Anti-Flag and that's where Hot Water Music and Less Than Jake. I'm sorry, not Anti-Flag, Against Me.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. Sorry, everyone. Golly. Against Me. Laura Jane Grace.
Yeah, Laura Jane Grace just got the city key.
Yeah, we were there for the ceremony for when she got the key. So like, it's just a part of the culture of like Florida to be able to play it. We saw that, and for like 4 or 5 years we tried to play it every year by emailing Tony, who runs it, and that's really the rite of passage. That's a great thing about Fest, is like this is designed for underground bands to try to, it's like a goal that I think is pretty feasible to get you on a festival and to grow your audience. Definitely. And like to connect with more people.
Yeah, just it's the being able to be surrounded by so many people that are like-minded and able to, you know, really put in the grind to make it work. There's a magic in Fest, that's for sure.
It took us like years to like, dude, every year, bro, we would like send it and we got like, oh, like Tony at least would respond to us and be like, yo, like not this year, but I'm gonna put you on this list. We're like, it's the reserve list, okay? Because there's 300 fucking bands playing this, and the likelihood of bands dropping off is very high. So we're on this. We always get on these lists, dude. And like, I think in 2017, we were on the list and we actually filled a space on the schedule. And we played maybe.
That's awesome.
I think it was the same year that like Jawbreaker played, which was awesome. I saw them play. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
But we like played in front of maybe like 6 people, and then like
Still awesome.
it was amazing. But like we didn't care. Like we went 300% on the stage, and like we really, at least our foot was in the door, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like bands, if you're watching this and you really like are discouraged that you like for some reason aren't playing it, like fuck that. Like just keep going.
Keep on
like
doing it.
you'll get on it. Like
Yeah.
anyone can get on Fest, and that's why we play music, because anyone can do it.
Yes.
And like it's not like we're gonna try to get on Furnace Fest, like, or like Coachella or like Bonnaroo. Like it's just not. It ain't gonna happen. So Fest is that outlet of like,
An opportunity. Yeah.
yeah, it's totally an opportunity. It's like a privilege to play it. And like now, every year since that year we got called from the bench, we have consistently like played bigger rooms, and it's cool to see, and it's cool to make friends. And a lot of like networking happens at Fest, to where it's like, dude, if you went, like, you will meet other podcasters and like artists and like radio heads, people who are into like the dynamic of punk rock is like very much present. Like, photographers, videographers, illustrators, designers, podcasters. Like you could make deals there. Like at Fest, that's where we met Acrobat Unstable, or that's where I talked with Marty from Acrobat Unstable Records, getting burrito with
Stress
them.
fractures.
Yeah, I was like, yo, like, what do we have to do to like put a tape out, like, on your label? And it was like next year we had the tape out on the label. So
Shout out to Marty.
it's a magical place.
Yeah, they put out yo-yos too.
yeah,
pretty cool.
Seriously,
Yeah.
our toy.
Yeah, if you haven't been, I'd totally recommend it. I'd say
You'd love it.
It's a I think it's a unique look into, like, I don't know, it's international. Like, bands come from all over the world to play it. And right before, the day before actually Fest is, we're doing a pre-Fest show here in Jacksonville with a band from Japan called Anorak. Awesome band.
Yeah,
If you haven't heard of them, they're awesome, dude. There's like a whole like bridge scene of like bands that are doing like similar genre, cool as fuck music in Japan too. But
I'm sure bands from Canada come too. Like,
yeah.
like
Totally.
I'm waiting for Alexis on Fire to come play one year. I will like die happy.
Man, I actually will admit, I actually had a chance to see Alexis on Fire coming up like 2 weeks, but I had to nix that trip to Toronto, man. I'm actually really upset about that. It was Alexis on Fire, Blink 182.
Wow. What a dream.
Dude. That's like
Yeah,
a
dude.
show for me.
I will admit, I literally bought the tickets like a year ago, like once they came on sale, and I was like, okay, I could do this. And I was going off my previous college schedule where I had like Thursdays and Fridays off. So I'm like, oh, that's going to be my entire schedule for the whole... No, I was an idiot. I have literally 2 exams that day that Blink hits the stage, and I'm just like, fail or Blink, and I'm like, fuck.
It'd go viral if you brought your laptop and we're doing the test while Blink's playing in the background.
Yeah.
I was so...
Hey, it ain't over
Dude,
yet.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I was so tempted to do that. I even asked my teacher, could I do that? He's like, no, you gotta be present. I'm like, oh, come on. And my teacher's a punk rock fan, too. I'm like, look, Blink 182, he's like, that's not real punk rock. They sold out in 99. And I'm like, what? I was like, oh. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what? I want to tell him to F off, but I can't. It's like, damn it, you grade me. So I just turned around and sit there the whole class. I was just looking at him.
Oh my gosh.
That's so... Dude, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That sucks.
Hey, man, you know what? I will admit, I saw Blink like back-to-back times actually last year in 2023, Montreal and Toronto, and I got to meet Mark and Tom. So, I mean, I had the Blink experience. They will come back. Awesome, bro. I can't even... I don't want to brag or toot my horn, bro, but I will say, let's just say, me getting married was the best day of my life. Meeting Mark, meeting Mark and Tom was the best night of my life.
Yes!
You know what I mean?
Dude, that's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Dude, don't tell your wife But I'm just kidding.
Honestly, I will admit my wife's in the studio sitting beside me. I mean, at the end of the day, I told her this.
Congrats on getting married, y'all.
I appreciate that, man. Once I actually, we met Mark and Tom, we walked out of the stadium after the show, and I looked at her, I'm like, honey, marrying you was the best day of my life. But I hate to say this was the best night of my life. You're gonna have to share the day now. And she's like, fair enough. It's like she accepted it. She was like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, are they pretty cool people?
Actually, really cool, man. So when I walked in, so this is the element. So it's at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. You go downstairs. I knew something was going on because I had the VIP lounge tickets. So the VIP lounge, you kind of go up. They was only bringing 5 people in at a time, and it was 2 security guards bringing them down. They got radios on. I knew something was up. Like, why are you? If there's nobody there, why are you only bringing 5 people at a time, right? So I was one of the first people on the line. We're walking through. Everyone walks past Mark. Mark's dressed up as a security guard with a blonde wig. everyone, and so he's leaning against the door, right? So I'm pretty sure you saw they had this little display of guitars and shit and all their merch they had throughout the years. And everyone walks past. I walk in. At first, my mind played tricks on me. I did not want to believe it was them, so I thought it was a wax figure or something. I don't fucking know. But then I saw it. Then I saw him move, and I'm like, "Holy fuck, it's Mark Hoppus!" And he looked at me, smiled, and went back in position. Then I turned around and saw Tom, and I ain't gonna lie, I fanboyed the fuck out. I was like, dude. I literally felt like a poser, man. I started stumbling. I was like, wait, what? That's Tom DeLonge? So, yeah. So then after they got done playing security, they came and met us fans, and they were gone, dude. They were gone in 5 minutes.
Oh, my God. So cool, though. You say you touched them. Did you shake their hand? I shook their hands, yep. Actually, it was weird because I'm not going to lie, I almost passed out low-key. So, and this is the first time I actually went in detail on this. I will admit, when I saw Tom, Tom's my idol, dude. So I almost passed out. And I was like, all I heard was oh my God. And then, I think he looked right at me, walked up to me, and shook my hand and was like, thank you so much for coming out tonight. And I'm just like, oh, God. That's so cool.
But no, I got 2 pictures with Tom, 1 photo with Mark, and they both signed my Enema of the State album. And Mark actually gave a compliment on it because it's the Red Cross version, where before they actually had to remove the Red Cross. He was like, damn, I don't even have one of these. Yeah. Mark was like, oh, wow, it's the Red Cross version. I don't even have one of these. I looked right at Mark. I'm like, you can have it if you want, dude. And he goes, no, dude, yeah.
Dude, hey, let me just bring it back. But I think Mark Hoppus recently was shown to be a guy who's a Name 5 Songs guy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see that?
Okay, I will say I saw the same video. When bands go international, apparently they're sometimes supported by people who only get autographs to resell online. Right. So these people when they're will use their children and stuff. It's sad. So I think what happened is Mark Hoppus was just making sure that the guy just wasn't a scam artist. Going to reusing this autographs. Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's what I thought too. Dude.
Do you know what we're talking about?
Have you seen that video?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that was in. I want to say. Honestly, you know what my opinion is the truth, man. I look at it like this: if you are someone like Mark Hoppus and you're Blink-182, and you're a fan, for instance, and you're standing there all fucking day outside the hotel waiting for him to come out, that must mean you should be a fan. You realistically should. If you're sweating your balls off in the tropic weather in front of a hotel to get an autograph, you must be a fan, right? But if you're just one of them scalpers that wants 15 different autographs. If you're standing there, let's summarize. If you're standing there outside, you should be able to name 5 songs. And if realistically, you're gonna pull. That's what I mean. At the end of the day, that means you should be a fan. If you have that album and you want that signed, once that autographs are on that, bro, that immediately skyrockets the price. If you're gonna be ballsy like that, get Enema of the State, man. Any non-Blink fan could name at least 4 songs.
I'm glad he didn't ask you that.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Oh, if he would have, I probably would have started from the beginning and named every song. And that guy. I think that guy. I think they only said M&Ms or something like that. And then I was sitting there and I was like, really? That's it?
Dude, I mean, maybe I was still maybe I felt a certain type of way about it because I couldn't name 5 songs off Cheshire Cat.
Yeah. Well, I had to look at it. I was like, oh yeah, okay. I'm like, no. Yeah, I can name.
'Cause I will admit, like,
Scott Raynor.
Yeah, come on.
yeah, I will admit I like that album, but I don't know 5 songs. I do know there's like TV, there's freaking like Carousel, there's freaking M&Ms and whatnot. But like I will admit, like I'm not huge on that particular album. Like I will admit I'm 30, so it's like when that album came out, I was still a speck in my daddy's nutsack. I'm gonna be honest. I like the album.
Yeah, me too.
I'm 30 as well, and a lot of music that influenced me, like I was maybe 12 years too late for.
Yeah. But I will admit, I remember when Enema of the State dropped, though. Enema of the State's the one album that really drew me into Blink, and then I went back and listened to Dude Ranch, which I will admit, Apple Shampoo is honestly one of the best songs off Dude Ranch, bro.
I agree. I've covered that song before in a band, and like the real ones know all the words. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah.
You can really.
I mean, even at the end, man.
The Blink fans.
Dude,
even the end of the intro, man, where it's like, I swear to God, you know what I mean? Like it's not infectious. The doctor says it will clear up in about like a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah, the skit at the end. Yeah.
And then the girl's like,
that
"Oh,
song
okay."
played in the car, and I was like, "Damn, I don't know if this aged." But then I see them on stage now, and they're just making like toilet humor jokes, which I like. Is pretty like that's always been them. You know what I mean? I've played it with a pop punk band that tried to do what they do on stage with their banter, and it just missed.
I think only they can do it still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I expect like the Mark, Tom, and Travis show from them.
But I have to ask, guys, what is next for Glazed, man? Oh no, I mean, no anywhere. I like the conversation, man. At the end of the day, I really did, man. I will admit, I gotta say first and foremost, the toilet humor, bro. I absolutely love it, and I think it's not cringe when Blink does it because they've been doing it their whole careers. But the reason why I had to cut myself off from that because I can talk about this shit all night.
Of course, same,
totally agree.
Start
But I have
Saturday
to
night.
ask you guys,
Dude,
man.
what's next for Glazed? Well, dude, Glazed right now is writing our next LP. So that's really what we're focused on. We have as you kind of talked before about Fest. We have a few shows coming up. We have Fest in October. We have that pre-Fest show with Kerosene Heights and Anorak and stuff at the Walrus. Who else is on?
Career Day
from New York.
Are We Amphibians and C-Check.
Liam
really? Plays in that band.
Oh yeah. Okay, C-Check. Shout out them. They're filming a music video up in Atlanta right now. So good luck.
So like a couple locals. So yeah, we got shows on the horizon. October, maybe more. We're playing this like city-sponsored event called Porch Fest in Jacksonville, November 7th. It's the same day the Census Fail and Saves the Day tour comes to Orlando, which I'm super bummed about. But like, you know what? We're writing for an LP. We got to start saving our pennies to go back in the studio and jam out. Like, I think what's going to be the best music of our lives. Like, we just on the tour we went on, like we were teasing a new song we wrote, and like we're very excited at how it went over. How the crowd received it, and yeah, we're kind of taking our time, like a little bit. Like, dude, we just went so hard for 2 weeks last month or in June that like we just want to like we've been playing a lot of our songs. Like, I don't think we play anything from You've Changed anymore, but like we're ready to write some new songs. So, and we're ready to like, you know how like Liam said earlier, like negative progression allowed us to like reach this like base of people to connect with who are familiar with them. We've been at it with like the DIY, emo-y, like kind of like organism that is the scene, like regionally and on the East Coast too. But I think we're ready to like maybe tour with a hardcore band or something like that, or like maybe like we grew up going to hardcore shows and stuff like that. So maybe like continue in this more raw direction and try to like
reconnect with our roots. I think is the big thing that has been that's like the saying that's come up with a lot of our conversation. Like, okay, what are we doing this next like 6 months? It's like I think really reconnecting to why we love doing this, and be authentic in how we're going to express it on this next stuff, and authentic with how we're going to record it too. That's what we're really looking forward to. I feel like we're taking influences from like Lifetime, Saves the Day, Shook Ones,
Kid
Dynamite, like these fast-paced, like early 2000s, the origins of like pop punk before, and we're really excited with what has been cooking up, but we're taking our time with it. And but we an LP.
Yeah.
LP. That's
Glazed
the
LP
thing,
too.
yeah.
So like it'll be
Yeah.
like sort of a, we did You've Changed. That was our last LP. We're ready, I think, like to write the next one, final, like 8 years later. Like we want to get it out, and like we'll probably tour on that. Like I want to make it to Canada.
Yeah,
like
Canada would be awesome.
I think with this LP we're gonna like try to like properly do an album like to the best of our ability through our friends and for people like you who we try to like get the word out to, and like so we really appreciate you giving us the platform that you have.
Yeah, seriously.
I have nothing but respect for Canada and the music
Canucks.
that comes out of it. I know like a lot of I think like there's a communications federal thing in Canada where you have to like they have to like play a certain amount of Canadian artists like with everything. I don't know if you've heard of that. Maybe that's not true.
They do, yeah, they do.
So, dude, I'm like, just, like,
yeah. I will admit, I take full advantage of that because some of the best punk rock bands came from Canada. I mean, like, there's a lot of great punk rock bands all around the world, but you got like Gob, you got, you know what I mean? You got like Sum 41, so many amazing bands. So I mean, I make sure I play amazing bands like you, but I take full advantage of what they make you play on the radio. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. There's so many amazing bands, bro. Like, Canada's phenomenal, dude. Like, I take full advantage, and I play like as much Canadian as I can, but our radio station Airways has hundreds of songs. So I mean, there's people. I think I actually have a few businesses in Toronto that actually play the radio station 24/7 actually when they're open. Like, awesome. There's actually a sports bar that I actually had no clue about this because so here obviously, as you guys already know, like here in Ontario we're on the FM dial and whatnot, but across the world you can listen to the station as well, all across through the internet. So there's actually a sports bar that actually plays my radio station through like online radio box in their sports bar, and they haven't changed it in like a year. I did not know this until one of my buddies messaged me. He goes, dude, I know this is a dumb question, and I already know this answer, but Punk World Radio's your shit, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, do you have like little like in between, you know how they have like, little commercial like ad libs where you kind of have like 99.9 Punk World Radio FM, and how you have like artists talking. And then he goes, yeah. I'm like, you have like Sum 41 doing one, you have Blink doing one. I'm like, yes. And he goes, fuck, dude, I'm in the sports bar right now and they're playing your shit. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like, stop metaphorically like jerking me off, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way a sports bar. Like, I didn't believe it. I straight up did, and I'm like, no way, dude. So I'm like, I need a video. I need a video, dude. And I want to hear what's playing in real time. So he video called me, and then I'm synchronizing it with my playlist. And I was like, dude, that's gnarly as fuck. And I mean, so literally, I look at my online demographic, and it says Toronto 24/7 and never leaves, bro, for the past year. So I'm going to assume that's a sports bar in downtown Toronto. So thank you if you're listening. I love you guys.
That's so
Keep
awesome.
playing
Shout
it.
out to them.
Yeah, honestly, if anyone in Ontario right now on the airwaves, like I think like if you think you'd listen to us, like we're gonna try to go up and play a show there.
Yes,
like, very soon.
We got passports.
Yeah. We got passports. Like, I think we can get into the country for the most part. Yeah, we're all well behaved. But I feel like Canada would really fuck with Glazed.
Yeah. And Glazed.
Oh man,
Canada. That's for sure. It sounds awesome in Canada. I hear so many cool things. I think. Same. Have you been to Canada?
I'm going for the first time this year.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been to
Montreal.
Well, if you want to Montreal, you have to get a poutine, bro. Get a poutine. I mean, at the end of the day, it sounds like a cholesterol batch of.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying it sounds pretty unhealthy, but actually it is. There's no easy way to say it. Poutine's very unhealthy, but it's cheese, gravy, fries together. Just demo it, bro. Just demo a poutine and tell me. Yeah, so you get cheese, so you get like fries, and then you have like cheese curd. You can use like brick cheese, but I mean that's I call that a ghetto poutine. You get like cheese curd, and then you pour it with hot gravy, dude. And I'm telling you, chef's kiss, bro. Chef's kiss. It's amazing.
Dude, they what's the candy bar you have that's like the coffee one?
Oh, Coffee Crisp.
Dude, have you had a coffee crisp?
Yeah.
We might have one in Ontario. There's just
Coffee
like
crisp.
Canada is like another like alternate dimension of America, or of I'm sorry, of the United States. It is in America, but that like I feel like I belong to like it for some reason, just for a night.
Yeah. Hey, and if you come to Florida,
Well,
you got fried gator tail.
Yeah, dude.
I tried a gator burger once, actually, like an actual made out of real gator. They
the Fuddruckers?
Yeah, they have this thing. It's called Gator's Barbecue, man. Like we have this thing called Rib Fest, and you get like different ribbers from all over the world. And gators used to come to my hometown of Brockville, and they actually sold gator burgers. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a marketing gimmick because they're called gator. I didn't realize until after I was like 3 deep, I realized that it was alligator, and I wanted to feel sick to my stomach, but then I'm like, this shit's actually good. Can I get a fourth? I was straight up like, you know what I mean? Fuck it.
Hey, a burger's a burger.
Burger is a burger.
It tastes like chicken, bro. I shit you not. That's what it tastes like.
Chicken. It's actually decent. Like I thought it would be more seafoody.
Yeah.
I like chicken.
I honestly thought it was a chicken burger, man. I went back after like 3. I'm like, yo, man, like, you sure this ain't a chicken burger? Like, it has to be. They're like, dude, this is full on alligator. Like, we got this in Florida. We brought it here, and I'm like, okay, you can stop with the gimmick. I know it's chicken. They're like, no, it's gator. And I was like, whoa, like.
Are there any areas in like Canada that have the reputation that Florida has in the U.S.? Because there's a thing called Florida Man down here where people are just insane in Florida. Florida Man robs gas station with a gator. That's an actual thing on video. Is there any? I mean, I'm thinking trailer park. I love trailer park. That's for sure. But I don't know if it's the same. Is there any?
Honestly, man. I mean, pertaining to you, like, robbing a gas station with a gator, I want to say I have not heard of anything that freaking gnarly, but, you know what I mean? We do have a lot of crackheads down here that do a lot of pretty crazy shit, you know what I mean? But I would say robbing a gas station with a gator, I wouldn't put it past 90% of the folks down here in Canada, but we don't have alligators, so I don't think it's going to work. But we do have some pretty gnarly people down here, man. I would say going more up towards the Toronto areas where you're really going to... Okay. Sorry, Toronto, love you, but you're going to find the wild ones.
What's the vibe with Edmonton?
Honestly, I've never been to Edmonton, so I can't comment, but I have heard some crazy shit about Winnipeg.
Okay.
Winnipeg is known as the, like, stabbing capital. Like I said, sorry, Winnipeg. I'm just going by word of mouth, you know what I
mean? Fair enough. We're interested in all Canada, you know. Like, we're trying to get, like, you know, we want to come there.
Dude, we want to play Canada so bad, that's for sure. Because we played Buffalo, and we're seeing the border right there. And it's like, okay, it's accessible. We've heard so many great, like, things about, and have met so many cool people that love this, that come from the same scene, that, like, I feel like we can love it the same way. You know what I mean? Seriously. So, like, I feel like it'd be very cool. Canada will be there sooner than later.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I actually host shows and whatnot down here in Canada. I brought Thomas Nicholas of American Pie actually down to the local pub here. And then I brought a Toronto band called Mixed Signal. So I will say, if you guys somehow get on tour, man, and you make it around this area, bro, I'll definitely steal you off that tour for a night and bring you guys to old Prescott, Ontario, man, because it's a phenomenal pub. Yeah, man.
We'd love to.
All we need is some walls and a roof and some electricity and a PA system, and we'll play a show.
Yeah.
Hey, man, say less. The pub has a PA system, it has a roof, and it has the beer flowing almost like water, man.
Like
so
wine?
I mean, you guys are solid.
Oh my god!
I mean, it like wine, but I will say it definitely goes down like water, man. I'm telling you, some of the best draft.
Oh my gosh,
that's awesome.
Fair enough.
But guys, before we actually part ways here tonight, I have to ask, man. Obviously, I know how to follow Florida's finest on social media, but for the people down here in Canada that are listening on YouTube, watching on YouTube or listening on the radio station airwaves, this will give them a chance to pull out their phone and follow you guys across all social media platforms. Where can we actually find you guys so we can stay updated?
Your safest bet, if you Google Glazed FL, Glazed FL, like, you will find our social media, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, or Bandcamp. We're glazed.com on TikTok, which we kind of like. We're
TikTok.
Yeah, we try to do that, which it's fun. But yeah, Glazed FL. If you type in Lickety Split in your Spotify search bar, then you'll find our latest release. I really think if you love like hardcore music and punk rock and emo music, maybe like something that reminds you of something, but it was also fresh. Check us out. Like, you might like it. And we're just doing it because anyone can do it.
Yeah. Yes. Start a band.
Yeah.
If you love, not you, but like if you want to, you totally should, dude.
Yeah.
But like, if,
oh man, there's a reason why I'm a DJ, guys. I can't play music worth shit. There's a reason why I spin it. I don't play it.
Be the front man of a band. Yeah.
Well, it's like the reason why we kind of go with the gateway band angle. I know it's like, it's kind of like, what does that exactly mean? And I think that it means that we can, like I just said, if we can do it, anyone can. And I hope anyone watching us or listening to us, like, if you like us, then that's awesome. But if it inspires you to like do something of your own, then that's really, I think, what is important.
Yeah.
Go change your world. Build a community and
pour into your community and like, and do it all out of love. That's for sure.
Seriously, like, it's not about money. Like, it's just about like living day by day the best way that you can. And if it's not through music, you'll find like what you do to contribute to it. But if you don't like punk rock, no, I'm just kidding.
We're getting deep.
Oh man, just say it. If you don't like punk rock, then fuck you. Kind of like Ricky Bobby. If you don't like Big Red, then fuck you.
Nice.
Hey, that's trademark of Ricky Bobby and Ricky Bobby Inc.
Hey. Dude. If you, oh God, no! I had one locked.
How can we follow that up? Yeah.
Dude, I had one locked in my
hands.
I don't know.
A DJ Immortal one line.
Dude, I just got Immortal.
Hey man, if you ain't first, you're last.
Straight up, but
I gotta say first and foremost,
you're awesome, dude. Thanks.
Hey man, you're most certainly welcome, guys. Thank you so much for your time, man. It was such an honor chatting with you guys this past hour. You know what I mean? Like I said, I absolutely love what you guys are doing for the punk rock community. I definitely hope that one day we can actually kick it, drink some beers, and bring you guys down to Canada, man. But for now, definitely congratulations again on getting on to Fest for the second time. I know you guys are going to absolutely tear the roof off that stage. You know what I mean? But for now, guys, have yourselves a phenomenal Saturday night and, of course, a killer weekend, man. We definitely shall talk again soon, guys.
You too.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you for
awesome.
having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.